Hi there, my name is Brent Vanderswag. I'm the president of GutterExperts.com and the founder of GutterCon, which was held for the very first time in Denver, Colorado this past April. Happy to announce that GutterCon 2023 is going to be held in Orlando, Florida on February 10th to 12th at the Gaylord Palms Resort and Convention Center. So keep your eyes open for registration. I love to chat with people in the gutter industry, suppliers, inventors, manufacturers, and gutter guys and gals just like you and me. I enjoy finding out how they got into the business, where they came from, and what their businesses are doing in the gutter industry today. So please welcome my guest today, Tyler Caine of TLC Rain Gutters in Twin Falls, Idaho. Tyler and his wife Stephanie started the business in 2018 and are running just one crew at the moment, but looking to ramp up with a dedicated gutter cleaning crew very soon. How you doing today, Tyler?
Good. Super excited to be doing this. My first interview.
Good. Oh, is this your first ever interview?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So we were chatting. I should just mention too, we didn't chat about this before the interview, but we should really mention everyone down in Florida. I mean, I just was watching the news this morning and all the destruction down there. And of course, on the gutter Facebook pages, a lot of people talking about, all the damage and so on. So thinking of everyone down there for sure today.
Yeah. We met a couple of the guys from down in Florida at GutterCon.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off right now.
Well, I think they always are running around with their heads cut off. So even now, it's going to be even more so. And I noticed a couple. I actually thought last night. I thought, oh wow, what a great place to spend the winter down there doing gutters, right? Because of course,
Right.
us being up here in the north, and you
Yeah.
too, our winter season isn't very nice for hanging gutters some
Right.
days, right?
Yeah.
But I saw a couple comments and there's probably going to be people that run down there to do work, and
All the
it's going
storm
to be,
chasers.
yeah, it's going to. I've never been involved with anything like that, but I can just imagine what that must be like.
Yeah.
I
I
did.
almost did a couple years ago. We had a big hailstorm over in eastern Idaho. And I had several contractors calling me, hey, come over here, but it was all insurance money, like $4 a foot. I'm like, I mean, I can
Yeah,
stay here and make 6. Why would I
yeah.
drive across the street to make 4? So I
Well,
didn't
and
do
yeah, I don't think it's all what it's cracked up to be. I mean,
it.
you're probably staying in hotels and
Yep.
chasing your money, and oh my gosh, what a nightmare
Yep.
it must be. I can just imagine.
Well, and whenever
But
you're pumping them out that fast, you're just praying that you get paid, because how do you go over and do 20, 30 jobs in a week and then go, okay, we'll see you in a month when we get paid? you
yeah,
know?
yeah, you don't even know them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I don't
completely
know how they
crossing
do
your
it.
fingers.
I interviewed Corey J. He used to do a lot of storm chasing back in the
Oh,
day,
really?
in the beginning down there, and he has some pretty neat stories. But he did fairly well at it, I think. Oh, was it Corey or was it what's the fellow that does a chop and drop down in Florida? He might have done that too. Anyway, thinking of all those people down in Florida. So tell us a little bit about how you got started, Tyler, in the gutter business. Were you out of school doing it? You don't seem like that old fella.
I'm 40.
No, well, you are
I
kind of
did.
old then.
I know. Like most people, I did a little bit of everything. I did a lot of welding and fabrication. And then my wife was actually working for a roofing company, and they had bought a gutter machine and just couldn't make it work because they were trying to just hire a guy and be like, here's a gutter machine, go do it. And
Mhm.
they failed. And so my wife came on one day. I was working as a project manager because I'd finished my degree. And she's like, good news, you're going to quit your job. And I was like, cool, what am I going to do? And she's like, you're going to go hang rain gutters. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work, but we bought the machine and the trailer and started hanging rain gutters. I did it basically on the weekends for 3 or 4 months till I built it up enough where I had enough work. And then I quit my office job and
Mhm.
started hanging rain gutters. And then basically, first year we did 100,000, pretty much me by myself. Second year we doubled, started building a crew. Third year we doubled again, got to 2 crews,
Mhm.
then realized that I could hang them faster by myself than I could with 2 guys out there.
Mhm.
So kind of restarted, built a training program, started building policies, procedures. Next year we matched what we'd done the year before with 1 crew
Mhm.
instead of having 2, and then now we're ramping up again. We got
Yeah,
1 crew that's, we're on track probably to do 600 this year with just 1 crew.
nice.
So
That's not
it's
so bad.
yeah, it's fun. It's funny to watch how much work we do. We talk about other industries, roofers, you send 5 guys out there and they're there for 3 or 4 days. Well, 3 or 4 days, we do 12 jobs.
Yeah.
So just the volume of work that we go through is insane.
Yeah, well, 600 with one truck, that sounds pretty good. So how's the pricing in your neck of the woods? Pretty good?
It's wild. Before it was pretty standard, anywhere from 4 to 10, and now it's 4 to 15. I mean,
Mhm.
the spread is insane.
Yeah.
So,
And how big of a population base is in Twin Falls, Idaho?
so Twin Falls is basically 50,000.
Okay.
But surrounding areas, we're probably up somewhere around 180 to 200,000.
Okay. So that's a
We
nice little base.
travel a lot.
Yeah. How far out would you travel?
About 100 miles, anything within a
Yeah,
hundred
hour
miles.
and a
We've
half or
gone
so.
further. We get
How
some
far
work
away
out
is
in
Boise from you?
about 2 hours, about
Okay, so
150 miles.
yeah, so you probably wouldn't go to Boise.
No, it was fun at GutterCon. We met Tina and got to
Yep.
talking to her, and it's been kind of neat because we both. I was telling Hunter Rain Gutters, he was there too. He's out of
Yes.
Boise. We kind of have an unwritten rule that they don't come here and we don't go there. So
Yeah.
anytime something comes up, we're like, here, call these guys, you
Yeah,
know.
nice. I've got a couple guys like that too.
Right.
Yeah, it's good to work with people, especially if they're, 2 hours away. I mean, unless it's a
Yeah,
big job, that's kind of far away though.
right. There's another guy. I'm trying to talk him into going to GutterCon. He's basically out in Caldwell, which is the other side of Boise from me. And
Okay.
his dad is closer to me. I bought his machine, and he's got a gutter company out there as well. And it's the same way. We're always switching work. Hey, these guys are in Nampa. They need a bid. He takes
Yeah.
care of it. Or, hey, we
Yeah.
need you to run to Haley. Okay, I'll go. So it's kind of fun that way.
So are you strictly just gutters or do you get into soffit and cladding?
Nope,
No,
just
all
gutters.
gutters. Yeah.
We
Sometimes
tried
better just
doing
to stick to one thing and do it right.
the thing I always say is I can't even get guys to do gutters right. Why would I try doing anything else? We
Yeah,
tried siding last year, and it just wasn't there. It's a whole nother setup.
it is. Yeah. And
So
you got to have a crew that you can depend on, at least one guy that you can really depend on. Otherwise, your name's on that job, right?
or I'm back there fixing
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And then I'm back
So
there fixing it going, I hate doing siding. Why am I here?
yeah, I know. It's so like we just had a hurricane actually come through Halifax, Nova Scotia, last weekend. And the calls were just crazy. Do you do siding? Do you do roofing? I mean, a lot of
Uh,
downspouts off. Our competitors' downspouts were off, not ours.
right. How
But it's
convenient.
yeah, but it's there's just so much work out there. It's hard to say no sometimes, but I think you just have to say, look, this is what we do, and we don't do it. Sorry, we can't help you.
Right. Yeah.
So, what does Stephanie do in the business? Is she in the office working with you?
No, well, kind of. Stephanie's always done all of our marketing. So
Oh yeah,
all of our social media is all done by her.
yeah.
Always has been. And then basically a year ago, we had hired a salesman because I got to where I just couldn't keep up with him.
Oh
And then
yeah.
he got COVID and basically quit, never came back. So she's taken over doing most of the sales now as well. So
Okay.
when she double books or gets too busy, I'll go and do them. Or if it's a return customer or contractor, I take care of all those. But
Mhm.
she's answering the phone, doing all the bids, and then she does all of our marketing.
Okay, what do you
Um,
do?
I'm telling you, I just hang out, drink
Nice.
coffee,
You
have
got
a
it
good
set
time.
up.
I do everything else.
Yeah.
It's funny. A lot of people are like, "Oh, so your wife does the books?" It's like, no, I'm the numbers guy. I do all the books. I do all the tracking. I
Oh,
do
really?
all
You
the
do the books? Okay. Well, that's
yeah,
kind of neat. You
yeah.
don't
I'm
hear
just
that
kind
too
of
often, I don't think.
right. I think it's because I'm a nerd.
Hmm.
So I literally track everything. I have a 40 column Excel spreadsheet that I put everything in and watch every job and then do all of the ordering, all of the scheduling, pull all the materials, do job checks, everything but install. Unless the
Okay.
guy's sick and then I'm back on a truck.
I'm an Excel spreadsheet guy too. I
Yeah.
have to admit I kind of have the past year or so kind of got away from it, but I've got a spreadsheet that I've been using for uh I'm going to say since day one with with my business Metro Gutter, which is 2012. So um, just keeping track of dollars or revenue per man hour. I really keep track of obviously revenue, and I really keep track of man hours and
Yep.
month by month, year to year. Starting to keep track of, and I always kept track of how many calls come in versus how many jobs we get. So I'd be interested to, take a peek at your spreadsheet someday and see what
Sure.
sort of things you're doing.
I'll forward it to you. I don't
Yeah,
care.
well,
I'll send
it's
you
not.
one from like 2 years ago so you don't know where
Yeah,
we're at
yeah, for
today.
sure. I think that's really important though. So many guys, a lot of people are focused on, oh, I did this much last year, and that's the number. But it really shouldn't be about how much you did. It's how much you get to keep, right?
Right.
I know, like you and I were just talking before the interview, and you're with one truck, but you're doing so much with one truck. Like, I know we're trying to run three trucks, and it's, you might make more money with one truck doing 600 than three trucks doing,
Right.
a million. You probably
That
are
was
doing
a
better.
that was a big thing. Mike Kalowicz, I was reading his book and he talks about that. Like doesn't your volume number is irrelevant because it's all about that net number. So
Yeah.
you can do less work and make more money. I mean, there's companies that are doing $20 million that are going broke because they're not making any money. So
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
really focused on that. We really focus on the service side and then making sure that we're making a net profit. So,
Yeah.
like you were talking about earlier, there's a lot of jobs we walk away from because there's just no money in them, and
Yeah.
it's like we had a builder the other day that was like, "Oh, I only budgeted X amount of dollars," and we're like, well, X amount of dollars is us taking a loss. So sorry, you could call somebody else. Why
Yeah.
would I come do it for less
Yeah.
than gross?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And, it takes a lot of time to keep track of that stuff. Like if you don't have a
does.
system, like, maybe your spreadsheet, and you've been doing it so long, it's very easy at the end of the day or the end of the week to fill. Do you do it daily or weekly?
It depends on the week.
Yeah. But
It's
it sounds like
it's
you do a per
really
job.
weekly.
You keep track of every job.
Yeah, yeah. We have a CRM. We use Job Nimbus, and so everything comes printed out. We put
Yeah.
every job in. It's probably weekly. I try to at least stay on it at least once a week, and I put them all in. And we're paying Stephanie commission off of the sales, so I have to get them all put in so I can figure out her commission while the guys are still hourly. And we use a
Mhm.
Clock Shark for that, and they're pretty easy to track. But
Yeah.
I try not to get more than a week or so out because then it's laborious. But if
Yeah.
you do it every
So
couple of days, it's not too
yeah,
bad.
exactly. So I'm curious. I mean, not to get too deep into what your wife makes, but I know a lot of guys probably are who are listening there would probably be interested in hearing about, how you do your pay for a salesperson, even though she is your wife. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
you're a business, so you're paying just like you would anyone else. Maybe she gets a few extra perks here and there.
No perks.
No
No,
perks. Well, you
you
took her
get
to GutterCon.
8%. I did. I'm gonna take her in Florida to Florida too. We're excited.
Good.
8%. I told her the other day, when we were at the last GutterCon, we hooked up with ArcSite and we're trying to
Yeah.
get going to basically go paperless.
Yeah.
And so I told her the other day, I was like, you get ArcSite going and I'll bump you to 9%. So
Oh, wow.
so she's doing well.
Yeah.
We're it's fun.
Yeah. Good. And she is your only salesperson right now?
She is, besides
Yeah.
me, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And does she likes doing it?
Yeah, so she did sales for a long time. And so it was funny when the roofing company she quit, or well, she didn't quit. The owner died. And so they kind of made a bunch of changes. And so whenever she was done there, I told her, I was like, just take some time, figure out what you want to do, figure out where you want to go. And she started the marketing company and she does social media marketing for there's a couple of roofers that she does it for, and then of course she does all of ours. And then she's had a flooring company and a car dealership, and so then whenever our salesman got sick and never came back, and she was like, "I'll do it," and I was like, "Okay." And then she started getting paychecks, and she's like, "I think I'm just gonna keep doing it." So
Nice.
yeah,
So
she's there
she
full
actually
time.
goes out in the jobs and measures jobs up.
Yep.
Oh, great. That's great.
And we measured that the other day. We only do about 20% new construction. So we measure a lot. And
Yeah.
then, we run 60 to 80% success on homeowners. So, I mean,
Good.
she's going to a lot of estimates.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sounds like a lot the way we do. We have some contractors that we deal with,
yeah,
but we're primarily, remodel.
homeowners.
So yeah,
Yeah,
homeowners. Yeah.
perfect.
And we like that. So
Yeah.
and you were saying in your neck of the woods, you're really just 5-inch gutter. Do you
Yeah.
see that changing at all, or no?
No, we have one. I don't know who it is. I haven't figured out. We have one guy that's coming around telling everybody that he only does 032, like it's a much better
Oh,
product.
the heavy gauge.
Right.
Yeah, we only use heavy gauge material. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
got a guy up here that does that too.
right. But other than that, we really only see 6-inch on commercial.
Hmm.
It's I don't know that I've ever seen it on a house still. I've had a couple people ask for it because they were doing their own online research and they're like, well, what if I go to 6-inch? And it's like, well, you
Hmm.
can, but you don't really need it. We
Hmm.
don't typically have enough weather here. We only get basically 10 inches of water a year.
Oh
So
yeah, pretty dry
we're
area
pretty
where you're at.
pretty dry, yeah. But
Yeah.
then we get some snow. So I always tell people, the people that are like, well, do I even need gutters? And it's like, I mean, winter's coming. I know it's hot and dry in July, but December
Hmm.
comes every year. So
And you're talking
we
to a
like to,
gutter guy, so of course you need it.
right. Of course you
What am
need
I going to
it.
tell you? No, you don't need it.
Nah, who needs gutters? That's a waste of time.
Okay.
Um, and we're pretty fortunate here because we get all 4 seasons. So we're
Yeah.
dry in the summer, cold in the winter, and have a real wet spring and fall. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like we were talking about right now is the calm before the storm. Every time it clouds up, the phone starts ringing like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the weather there today? I know we're chatting on a Saturday. It's 1:30 where I am. Beautiful October 1st day here. Just beautiful.
The way it is here too. Blue sky, sunshine, 50 degrees at the moment.
Yeah. Oh,
Perfect.
it's warmer than that here. We're probably up in the 70s. It's beautiful.
Yeah. We'll hit the 70s by 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a couple hours behind us, aren't you? So listen, you brought up GutterCon a couple times. What was the big thing that you took out of GutterCon? Like I know like so many people, and I met you guys. You guys are really pumped, and right in the beginning, you guys were on board. So, what you think of what we did there down in Denver, Howard? What you walk
I
away
thought it
with?
was great. I was super excited. I've been following Tommy Mello for a long time, so I was a little starstruck. I
Oh yeah,
got to shake his hand and get a picture with him, and it was neat. Like everybody else has said, it was cool just sitting around talking with other people that are in the
yeah,
industry. It was funny to I think you said on one of your other podcasts that, we all talk about, we basically all do the same thing, but we all have those little intricacies that they're super proud of. I only do miters this way, or I do downspouts this way. And it's like, okay, we're all doing the same thing, but it's cool to see the pride.
Yeah,
The other interesting thing to me was seeing how the bulk of the people there were like us.
yeah,
Most of them either didn't have a crew or only had one
yeah,
crew, or they're still on the truck.
yeah,
And it was the majority. All of
yeah,
us kind of walked into it going, man, I'm going to be the smallest guy here. And then you get there and it's like, no, we're the bulk. I would say probably 80%. We're all the same
yes,
way. It was still
absolutely.
on a truck, one crew, maybe two
Work in the
crews
business every day. Yeah.
every day, all day.
And
Yep.
I would dare say it's more than 80%. It's
Uh,
pretty incredible, really. Like there's some big companies out there, of course, and we've interviewed some of them, and we all know who they are. But a lot of guys, that are just one, two trucks, and
yeah,
they make a decent living, and they're trying to grow their businesses. Maybe they're not trying to grow their business.
yeah,
Sometimes I lately, in some respects, I've even been thinking about scaling back a little bit instead of
yeah.
trying to grow. So
I hear you. I'm on the same boat. And
yeah,
sometimes I'm like, I mean, is it really worth it? We're
yeah,
doing pretty good now, and we got a good thing going. How
yeah,
much do you want to push, and what is it going to take to push? Even I talked to Tina about that. We went to lunch with her one day while we were there. We were talking about, when we started, we're gonna crush it. We're gonna go huge, and then you get up to where you got a couple of crews, and it's like, this is fine.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think you just spoke about you're getting 60 to 80% of the work that you're getting. I mean, you sound like you guys are just like us. I mean, that was one thing I really tracked, and we were always around 72, as high one year we got 78% conversion, and that's, if you talk to anyone in sales, that's probably too much.
It
Like you're not
is.
charging
Yeah.
enough. You probably should be in
Right.
around the 40 to 60%, I think, is what they say. So
Really.
we raised our prices last year quite a bit, actually, and we did see the numbers drop, but only dropped to about 68. I was kind
Right.
of
But
nervous to get below 70. But
yeah,
I still think that we should probably raise our prices a little bit more. I think we should
I
be
agree.
doing more estimates and bringing in less work, but at a better
Better
return.
margin. Yeah, we were the same way. That was the big takeaway from GutterCon, is
Absolutely.
raise your price. And
Yeah,
so,
but
and we
it's so
had
scary to
already
do that,
raised
isn't
our
it?
price. And we had already raised our price before GutterCon. So then whenever we got there, they kept saying, raise your price. And we were like, okay, we'll do it again. You're
Yeah,
right. We're getting less jobs, but the jobs we get are more profitable. So it's
that's
yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's better to do less work and make more money than it is to work twice as hard to make half as much.
yeah.
So
So the only thing I would say about that too, and we do some specialty gutter work. I think I've always mentioned that we have a half round gutter machine, we have a box gutter machine, and we find that specialty work, like no one really else is doing that. So we can command a little bit of
yeah,
quite a bit higher price because of
yeah,
that. So we're we're probably not going to give up on 5-inch gutter, but I said to Kobe, my son, the other day, you know, what do you think about just stop doing 5-inch gutter work? Well, of course
really,
we're not going to, but we're thinking about it because we're
really,
getting so busy doing the other stuff.
huh? Good for you.
Yeah.
See, and I've
Yeah.
thought about that. We're real close to Sun Valley, which is where all the superstar movie stars go to. So I've
Yeah.
talked about doing that. Is we
Well,
could buy us.
who does their gutters there now? What kind of gutters are they putting up?
I ironically, they're still doing a lot of 5-inch, but then they do the half round or pure copper.
Yeah,
We
we
got
do
to
that
go up
too.
and do another pure copper job here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But the half round. But I looked at one of those machines the other day, and they're like 30 grand. I was like, oof, that
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
To
They're
hope to get some jobs,
But the thing about that machine though is that it runs 5-inch gutter coil.
uh,
So there's no difference. Like you don't have to go, find something, a different gutter coil. You can run all the same gutter coil. So the only thing I would say about having a half round gutter machine is, you have to have a supplier for the accessories. So
Right.
accessories, usually you would have round pipe and round elbows. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of people that could do that up, or that you could get up in your neck of the woods for sure. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
and
at,
through COVID,
I
I
was
had
at,
this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was at Classic Gutters a couple weeks ago in Michigan, and you're not too far from Michigan, are you? I
We're
guess you
quite a
probably are.
ways. Yeah,
Yeah, you are. Okay.
1,000
Anyway,
miles.
yeah, that is quite a way. It's a big country, isn't it? What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
COVID, we really had to, I mean, it was even a struggle to get 5-inch. I was using 3 different suppliers to put a job together, because one had
Wow.
coil, one had downspouts, the other had elbows.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm rare, but we order stuff from all over. I mean, I get stuff shipped out of Ohio, and I get all my hangers out of, I think they're in like Pennsylvania or something, just
So
because
you don't have a supplier in Twin Falls?
we do, but he is pretty limited. He's got
Mm.
coil, downspouts, and elbows, and that's it. He
So
doesn't
is he
do
just another
hangers. He
gutter
doesn't
guy?
do caulking. No, he's a it's a siding and gutter supplier,
Yeah.
and also vinyl fence.
Okay.
And he's a little rough to work with, but but
Hopefully
uh,
he's not watching this.
uh, it's fine. I've told him to his face more than once.
Okay. Well, that's kind
It's
of
funny
funny
because
that he sells gutter and downspouts and elbows, but no hangers or nothing else.
yeah, well, and his shop, like they don't sell caulking. They don't. It's
What a
strange.
missed opportunity.
Yeah. And it's funny because I can typically get it cheaper shipped from Boise down to here than I can from
Probably.
him. It's
Yeah.
like you're in town and you're more expensive than going out of town, but
Yeah. I was just going to ask you. So I am so spoiled where I am. I have three suppliers in our industrial area within like literally like 10 blocks of each other. So
oh
our
yeah.
shop is in the middle and our three suppliers. So we don't even carry an inventory.
Yeah.
Other than some specialty stuff. And like we need stuff this morning, we just go and get it. Like
Really.
we're so spoiled. And I talk to guys like you, and you're having to order this from there and this, and then if you have a shortage and you miss a shipment, I mean you're screwed, right?
Yeah, I'm screwed basically. Yeah. I'm the
So
same way. Always been a very much order just in time kind of.
mhm.
So we have a shop, but I basically stock white and black. But everything else we order per job. And it's always funny. You go to a job and they're like, "Oh, can you add this piece?" And we're like, "We don't have the material. like we came with what we needed to do the job, and that's it."
Wow.
Uh, but then yeah, we order everything. I mean, even custom built. We met with Johnny at GutterCon.
Right.
Uh, they finally opened a branch out in Nampa, which is the other side of Boise. But
Okay.
before, all their stuff came from Portland. So you've got to be ahead of the curve to get it, from 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Are they big all over custom built? Are they all over the states or just on the western side?
just the western side. I think they're Texas, California, Washington, Oregon,
Yeah.
and then now they have a satellite branch in Idaho.
Okay, good.
Um,
Yeah, so
yeah,
that might be a good opportunity.
it has been. Yeah, we're trying to do a little bit with them here and there. I always
Good.
kind of used them as a specialty because they do some blues and greens that not everybody covers or
Hmm.
carries. So
Hmm.
it's been an adventure.
So I got to ask. I ask almost every guy. So TLC rain gutters. Do you do hand cut miters, box miters, or strip miters?
Strip miners.
Right
We
on.
we
That's
chop
that's
saw
what
that
we do too.
sucker and slap a strip miter
Exactly.
in there.
That's right. And does everyone in your neck of the woods do that, or do some people?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Some of the cheaper ones are just box miters.
Hmm.
I've never seen anybody do the hand cut miters here.
I mean,
Uh,
there's no doubt about it. A hand cut miter looks really sharp.
I agree. Yep.
But for us in our neck of the woods, I would say you know, it's not a selling feature of,
Um,
you know, getting a job or not. Like if I did a strip miter or a hand cut miter, no one would say, "Oh, I like this or that better." I mean, it's not
right.
even an option, or it's not even a thing here. So,
I mean,
what?
I would say the bulk of our customers don't even know where gutters go, let alone
Yeah,
what's the difference between a strip, a box, and a
yeah,
hand cut. They don't.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's a good selling point.
What about gutter protection? Do you sell any gutter guards?
Yep, we only do the high end ones, and after GutterCon, actually now we're selling gutter glove. We're doing the gutter glove Pro is what it is, and that's been neat. They've been a good company to work with. They
Good.
provide some other resources and training and things that the company we were using before would just kind of order it, get it, figure it out, you know. So
Mhm.
it's been neat to switch companies with them.
Yeah,
And it's all because of GutterCon. I was using Gutter Dome, their company out of California.
yeah.
Um, and after GutterCon, we were like, hey, you guys should at least come talk to us. And salesman came and talked to us, and we made the switch. So it
Nice.
was fun.
Good. Well, I'm glad so much came out of GutterCon for you.
We
You
got a
know,
lot.
it costs, there's no doubt about it. It costs some money to go to a function like that. And, you know, it's
Uh,
going to cost more this year, unfortunately. I mean, just by having it in Florida in February, I mean, the
right.
costs are higher, but,
Mm,
and we feel really lucky that we found a spot, actually. I
oh,
thought I was
good.
way ahead of the game this summer planning for February, but you know, Florida in February is a busy spot. Like everyone
Yeah.
wants to go there. So
Mm,
we're at the Gaylord this year, Gaylord Palms Resort, which is, I think it's a little bit of a higher end spot. So,
yeah.
but we're really excited about it. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. We are too. We were, as soon as the email came out, I think we responded within like 30 minutes. Yep, sign us
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've
And I
been
think
waiting
it's,
for months.
yeah, and I think it's going to be good too. Like the venue is going to be nice. I know a lot of people. What we had going against us this past year is that one, it was our first GutterCon, so we had nothing to go by. You know, so sponsors were like, how many people are going to be there, and people are going to be. You know, we just couldn't say how many people were going to be there. I mean, we were hoping for this, but I think now that we've done it and it just went over so well, the people that came like yourselves and all the other people that were there, like you guys all wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have really mattered about anything else. Just being in the room with everyone was a big
Right.
thing, right? So, I think, you know, I think GutterCon 2023 is probably going to be at least double the size, and I think
Wow.
people are going to bring you know, lead hands or, you know, maybe a salesperson. I think they're going to do that. I mean, that's one thing that we're working on right now on the agenda for GutterCon 23 is, you know, what can we bring that is more relevant to gutter guys. So
Right.
we're going to have some of our people that were at GutterCon as attendees. We're going to have speaking at GutterCon
Yeah.
2023. So, you know,
Is Ben
actual
gonna do
real.
another joke session?
I think you're going to see a little bit more out of Ben. I'm sure he's going to have a couple drinks and probably do a little bit of something. But I think you'll probably see he's really big on company culture,
Yeah.
and he is passionate about his people, and I think that's what you're going to see Ben talking about.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah, whenever I watched his gutter conversation, I was like, man, I need to reach out to him and see if he can help me with mine. I think
yeah.
that's our biggest struggle is just finding employees. I think
I,
if I could get
don't.
employees, we could
Yeah, it
we
is
could
for
go a long
everyone.
way.
It is for everyone. And I know, you know, as we're talking, we are just talking, you know, a few minutes ago about, you know, doing less work for more money. In fact, Kobe, my son, who was at GutterCon, he's going to be playing a bigger role with my business next year. And, you know,
Hey,
that's our big thing. It's like October, like I'm kind of putting my hands up for this year. Like we can't make it any better. Let's just get through this year. Let's
right.
get through the winter and let's plan for
Mhm.
2023. So, you know, one of the things that we're planning on doing is, you know, just paying more money and trying to make it, you know, more more fun, or I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you can't give people too much time off because you need them to work, but you have to
Right.
have a happy work life. You know, you have to have a good amount of time for work and a good amount of time for your family and, you know, all the fun things that you want to do in life, right?
Yep. Well, and
So
I
it's a
keep kind of
balance.
going back to you want to reward loyalty, but if a guy's only been here 2 or 3 months, like, I mean, how much can I really give you? Because I still feel that early on, you're just giving it at that point.
Yeah.
They haven't really shown anything other than they came to work and they're hanging together. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how far to go there. So maybe I'll reach out
But
to Ben and he can teach me.
yeah, he seems to have some employees that have been with him a long time. So
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe there's a lot of forgiveness. And where's he? He's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah, well, forgiveness is a big part of being an employer these days, I think, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I guess. It's
Yeah.
been
So,
wild.
well, listen, it's been great chatting with you.
Yeah.
It was super cool to meet you and Stephanie back at GutterCon, and nice to be doing this. I almost feel that I need to do a Gutter conversation with Stephanie now.
I know. I thought about that. I was like, I should have brought her on here, but maybe next time. You can set up
Yeah,
another one. You can send
I'll
her
do
on.
that
The other
for
half of
sure.
TLC.
See, yes, see what really happens at TLC Rain
Right.
Gutters. Oh, so the other cool thing, tell us about your name, TLC Rain Gutters. I didn't know this,
Oh,
but
TLC is actually my initials. It's Tyler Lewis Caine. So
yeah,
everybody
we like
always
that.
says, "Oh, is it tender loving care?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes. We bring tender loving care to every gutter job. That's what we do."
Nice. Well, listen, it was great chatting with you. Thanks for taking the time out of your
Thanks for
Saturday,
inviting me.
and thanks for all the good things that you say about GutterCon. And can't wait to see you and Stephanie in February for sure.
Well, and
Okay.
thanks for inviting me. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go to Florida. We're excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. When do you start your diet and getting that bikini, or not
Uh,
bikini, the Speedo
Never. I'm
body
over
ready?
it. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
I'm 40
Okay.
now. I don't care anymore.
Well, I'm 51, so I'm trying to. I got a nice little yellow Speedo bikini or Speedo that I'm trying to
Oh,
fit
we can't
into.
wait to
So
see that. I'll tell Steph. She'll be all excited.
good. Okay, great chatting with you, Tyler.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
Okay.